What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down 3 tips for wide receivers and slot wide receivers to beat zone coverage. So we're going to be talking about the specific things you need to do to get separation against zone. So I hope this video gives you guys some value and it teaches you a few new things just about route running and to improve your overall game as a wide receiver. But also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver and you want everything that you guys need to do broken down to a specific training schedule, check out that very first link in the description for our ultimate wide receiver training schedule. So what it is going to be a 4-week gym and on-field training schedule for wide receivers. Both programs are going to be combined and they coincide with each other. So what you'll get is a 4-week on-field workout plan with all the drills you need to do broken down into sets, repetitions. We explain the importance of each drill in a video that you guys will get access to, and we show you full speed examples. Then also you'll get a 4-week gym training program to help you guys improve your explosiveness, speed, strength, and everything that ties in the wide receiver position. So very first link in the description below, fellas, our ultimate training schedule for wide receivers. Hope you guys can check that out. Let's get started. So first route we're looking at here is a Slugo Route from Amari Cooper. And now we're going to be talking about the specific zone coverage look that you'll see on the outside. Then we're going to get to the slot wide receivers going up against a zone safety. So when I got a DB, this is probably the look that you're most likely will see. Now, there's a couple different ways the DBs are going to play zone. Some guys will be staring directly at that quarterback the whole time. They'll maybe be a little bit far off, but most guys will be kind of looking to the inside and kind of peeking back to you, but they're still off. They're still trying to force you to the inside, is that's where they have help. They have safety help. When you're going up against a zone DB on the outside, he does not want you to beat him to the outside. He's taught to protect that. If you guys attack his leverage to the outside, he's going to weave and keep his leverage. So we want to try to force him to thinking that I'm going to the inside. So this is a Slugo route. So anytime I'm going up against a zone coverage DB, he's going off a couple things. If he's got eyes on you, obviously it's important to commit your shoulders, commit your hips, to have your eyes to the inside, because that's what will make him jump. But oftentimes when this DB is in zone coverage and he's looking in the backfield, our speed and our stride is what's going to get him to jump. So that's my number one tip. That's the first tip to beating zone coverage, is you guys got to understand that your stride, a lot of the times a DB in zone is going off of feel. So you got to make sure that you have speed into your breaks. You have speed on your stem. If you're working a double move, you got to have speed to get this DB to jump. So first tip is make sure that you know that the DB is going off of feel. He's going off of what he feels with you, feels with your speed. So you got to be a salesman on your route against zone coverage. So you see how Cooper, when he breaks off this slant, 3 steps aggressive, right? Shoulders, hips, stride. Everything is saying slant about this route. And this DB gets his eyes at those backfield and he's trying to jump that slant. He's trying to jump this slant route because it's zone. He wants to overcommit. He wants to make a big play. He did his job. He forced him to the inside. Okay, now he's going to drive on this break. So we got to make sure that we are a salesman with everything that I do. My shoulders and hips are committed. My stride is committed. My eyes are shooting to the inside. Everything that's going to make this DB jump, we have to be super precise when I'm going up against a zone DB. Because again, it's tough to get a lot of separation against zone. Press coverage, man coverage, we want that as a wide receiver. I want him to come down and try to press me because I know I got to move. I know that's a huge opportunity to get a lot of separation. And I know my quarterback's going to pick me because I'm the best matchup on the field. Against zone, it's a little bit trickier because you really have to be, like the first tip we talked about, really got to be a salesman on your routes. Let's watch this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Cooper bursting to the inside, then obviously popping this thing off and accelerating to the outside, winning against zone. Okay, so now we're looking at this route against Julio. So this is kind of what I was talking about with this zone DB, right? Probably in charge of this deep third of the field, deep fourth, can't see the full coverage, so we don't know. But this is one where his eyes are in the backfield and he's going off of feel with Julio right here, right? So this is like a little bit more off of feel than the one we just talked about. So the second tip against zone coverage is you got to step on this DB's toes and you have to close the space. This guy will eventually move. Let's watch the thing in full speed. So Julio's going to be running a deep out route. And you see how much he closes the space with this guy, how close he gets to stepping on his toes, literally, and that's what forces him to move. So I get this question all the time, right? This guy, oh, well, what if he's sitting at 10 yards and I have an 8-yard route, or like, what if he's sitting at 10 yards and I have a 12-yard route and he's not moving? Nah, your mindset has to be, I'm making this guy move. I'm going to run straight at him. I'm going to attack his inside shoulder. I'm going to force him to move off this ball so I can create some separation. If he just sits there, we're going to go run a fade every single time. But a DB, especially in zone, has an internal clock to know that if you're, like, he knows when to turn his hips, right? And if we're being a salesman enough, I have good stride, I have good pad level, my eyes are straightforward, I'm attacking on the correct angle, I'm trying to close the distance, he will move. So you see how Julio, he never breaks stride, right? His head is down, he's pumping his arms, he never breaks his stride. Now, there's a point where a receiver knows that, like, okay, maybe it's like third and short, right? The DB's probably not going to be biting on this type of a move, I would say, if he's disciplined, if he's smart, right? Because again, it's third and short. We're probably not going to be taking a deep shot. But if it's like second and one, if it's like third and long, you bet your ass he's going to be biting on that deep move if we sell the thing correctly. And how we sell the routes, again, second tip to beating zone coverage, I got to step on his toes. But how do I actually step on his toes? Do I just run at him and I give a super lazy break? I slow up, I raise my pad level? No, you got to be in stride. You got to pump your arms aggressively. You got to have your eyes straight forward. Everything is committed to the break. Now, how I'm able to change direction on this is I got to have a sudden drop. I got to be powerful with my feet. I got to be violent with my hips. I actually got to drop my pad level because that's how you guys can put the brakes on, and he's got to react off of you. So if you guys can eliminate as much time as possible, you will be faster than the DB. He's got to react off of you, but if you're dropping and maybe you don't get low enough with your hips against zone, you drift off of this route, and then we come off this thing. You got to have this sudden drop. You got to change your pad level abruptly because that's what will help you guys get straight out on this 90-degree angle, and it makes it very hard on this DB to get any kind of separation. That's a great job by Julio putting the brakes on when he's probably 15 plus yards down the field, selling fade to get this DB to commit, okay? So the second tip to beating zone coverage as a wide receiver, make sure that you are stepping on the DB's toes and you are selling vertical the best you can because there comes a point in time in every single rep where the DB has to turn and run with you. And if he doesn't, we're going to come back the next play and we're going to burn him with a fade, right? Sometimes he just may be in the right spot at the right time. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job coming at him, popping this thing right off and then pumping those arms to accelerate out. All right, guys, if you haven't heard, we are going to be coming to Las Vegas September 11th and September 12th for a 2-day quarterback and wide receiver training clinic. So that is this weekend. This is the last week to register. We got a few spots open left. So I hope you guys could check that out. Second link in the description below. It's a 3-hour training clinic. We're bringing out a speed coach to help you guys with your 40 times, help you guys with your running mechanics. And then obviously myself will be there working with both positions. So I hope you guys could check that out. And also you could get early registration to our Arizona quarterback and wide receiver training clinic October 2nd, another 3-hour training clinic. This is only one day, fellas, so it's going to fill up quickly. So check out that second link in the description below if you're in the Las Vegas or Arizona area. Hope to see you guys out there. Let's get back to this video. So now, next one we're going to be talking about is zone coverage out of the slot. Okay, so this is a look that you're going to be seeing quite frequently as a wide receiver out of the slot. You're going to be seeing this safety who's in this too high position. This corner's bailing out. This is probably like cover 4, like a quarters concept. I know some of you are probably familiar with that. Some of you may not be familiar with that, but that's what this is like, right? So let's watch this full speed. So he's going to be running a post route, and I want you to see how well he angles his body. And now this is something you have to know about zone coverage out of the slot. So there comes a point where every single rep, when you get too high safeties, it eventually will turn into man coverage. Cover 2 is a little unique. It kind of depends, right? Because like if this guy's running vertical, obviously that's his zone. And then if you maybe have a post, we kind of force him to pick one, I guess you could say. But if he's not threatened by anything to the outside, that's cover 2, right? So that we don't got to worry about that. But when it's like cover 4 and there's nobody going into his zone, you are essentially like one-on-one with this guy. Like you are essentially, it is man coverage when you get to a certain point, and that certain point is probably about a little bit past 10 yards. So we want to treat it as a slot anytime you're going up against a zone coverage safety, whether you got a linebacker who's inside trying to reroute you or whatever. You're treating this like man. So what do you think is important when it's a man? Where's the DB's eyes? The DB's eyes should be on your hips. It should be on that number. So we got to sell every single route that I do with my body language, with my pad level, with my eyes, with my speed, with my stride. Everything that's going to sell this route like you normally would against man, it applies against zone coverage out of the slot because like I said, this is pretty much off man coverage. So he's going to be using this like kind of wide stem corner. I wouldn't consider this like a corner post, but you see how he commits his shoulders, commits his hips. Everything's saying corner right now. And look what that does to the safety. It fully commits his hips. He's fully committed to the inside, and we're able to just pop this thing off, force a speed turn out of there. But we know a speed turn we like because I know I just got to be fast. I got to make sure I accelerate, and I got to make sure I get to the spot on the ball. So you really want to make sure you're pumping your arms and you're trying to win that race back to the ball. And you see we got about, what, 5 yards of separation from that guy just simply because I angled my pad level. I angled my shoulders. I angled my hips because he's treating it like off man. Off man with no quarterback pressure, which is essentially what zone coverage is from the slot, is a gift. That should be a 10 for 10 win for us because we should never lose against off man coverage. We should have a plan for off man. If they go off man, I think it's stupid personally. I think we should win that every single time if I know what to do and I know how to actually sell the route. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job coming off selling this corner route. So the third tip to beating zone coverage, especially out of the slot, is make make sure that you understand that it is like off-man coverage and the same man coverage principles apply to that zone coverage look. All right, guys, we want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comments below. I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. I always appreciate the feedback. And again, fellas, ultimate wide receiver training schedule, everything that you guys need to do on the field and in the gym as a wide receiver to take your game to that next level. Check out that very first link in the description below. And again, fellas, Las Vegas and Arizona area, if you guys are in those two areas and you want to come out and get some work in with us, or if you're a quarterback or wide receiver, check out that second link in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.